Besides Morocco, I had never been to Africa before, and 2018 was the year that I was going to change that. So I reached out to some friends, put a safari together for 7 days, and decided to head out to Tanzania to go see the wild animals. So we landed in a city called Arusha near Mount Kilimanjaro, and we set out for our first location, the Ngorogoro Crater. The Ngorogoro Crater was special because there's hundreds of species of animals, from zebras and wildebeest to lions and hippopotamus, all living together in the same environment. It was one of the only places in the world where you could ever see this happen. I became friends with our game driver, and he started telling me about the local Maasai tribe who migrated to Tanzania from Ethiopia. And they lived in the Ngorogoro Crater, and they played an important part of the Tanzanian culture, but also in the preservation of the wildlife and caring for the national parks. So naturally, I had to meet them. So the next day, we set off to go find the Maasai village, and I got introduced to the chief of the entire tribe. I met the chief, and he was excited by my enthusiasm for his culture. So he decided to let me interview him, but also let me film the entire time we were at his tribe. So the day began with 120 tribesmen coming out, men, women, and children, and they gave us a presentation of their song and dance. It was absolutely incredible. After the dance ceremony, we were invited into the village to see their culture and their lifestyle, how they lived, and how they went about their day. Since the Maasai are livestock traders, the most important part of their culture is the cow. The cows are their form of commerce, and they use it to trade for other goods in their society. But most importantly, it's a sign of power, and they use the amount of cows that a man owns in order to determine how many wives that man gets in the tribe. So for every 10 cows that a man owns, he gets 1 wife. The cow is also the only source of food for the Maasai tribe. They drink the blood for strength, they drink the milk, and they eat the meat. Also, the whole entire tribe has no diseases because they only eat cow their whole life. So all the diseases that affect the cattle, which are slim to none in Tanzania, are the same ones that affect the tribe. I had another opportunity to interview a member of the Maasai tribe. The Maasai is the only tribe that is allowed to stay in the Ngorogoro Crater by the Tanzanian government right now, right?
Maasai allowed to live in the crater, in the conservation in Ngorongoro, because the reason why they live there is because they have could not disturb with animal. The Maasai cannot eat the game animals, so that's the reason why they are allowed to live there.
His name was Everest, and he talked to me for hours about culture and lifestyle. After talking to the chief, we met some of the local kids who told us about their school and how they were learning English so that they could speak with foreigners when they come and visit. We got invited to go to one of the classrooms, and all the kids ran up to me when I came in to film. They were super excited, and we had a blast. I realized then that they had a passion for learning and that I needed to help them out. This is the Maasai school here for the children, and they're learning English today. So this year, I'm setting up a fund from Impulse Odyssey to help more Maasai children get into school and help them learn English. After a series of long goodbyes to the kids and the village chief, we decided to move on with our journey and head out to our next destination, the Serengeti Plain. The Serengeti Plain is about 14,000 kilometers of terrain in which hundreds of thousands of animals migrate on when they come down to Tanzania. While staying in the lodge the first night, I ran into the owner of a hot air balloon safari, and I decided that we were going to run a partnership between Impulse Odyssey and Serengeti Balloon Safaris. So the next day, I got picked up at 4:30 in the morning, got taken out to the hot air balloons, and we decided to go on a trip to view the entire plain in its full beauty. We saw hyenas, giraffes, gazelle, hundreds of wild lions, baboons, wildebeests, zebras. At the end, we even had an opportunity to see a wild cheetah. As we were driving through the plains, the cheetah followed our vehicle. It hopped onto the back 2 tires and stared at me right in the face. This was something that I would never ever forget. One of the things that made this trip so special was that there was no barrier between human and animal. We were right in the middle of the wildlife reserve, and the camps that we stayed in the Serengeti and the Tarangire National Parks. This entire trip was so impactful that I've decided to partner up with a team in Tanzania to make our own personalized Impulse Odyssey safari. I didn't want to leave as we left for the airport, but knew that I'd be back someday. For now, goodbye, Tanzania. See you on the next adventure.